Alright, this is take 100. Every time I sound stupid, I try to restart it, and now it's getting kind of crazy. I'll do the best to get through this, and then if it's bad, just ignore it, or you know who I am, so obviously you're not surprised by my mistakes, or my grammar, or my language, or whatever. So I want to give everybody a background of what's going on, and then kind of what I have ahead of me, so you have an idea of what you might see in these videos. Back in 1997, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. I had 6 months of chemotherapy, 1 month of radiation. I was cancer free. It was in remission after 4 months. That lasted until 2009 when I was diagnosed for the second time. With the second diagnosis, I had 4 months of chemotherapy, and then I had a transplant. With this transplant, they attempted to kill the cancer by giving me what they call lethal chemo for 6 days, and then on the next day they put my stem cells back in me in hopes that the cancer would be gone and my system would reboot, and obviously my immune system would kind of repair itself. Then again in this this winter, back in February or March, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's for the third time. Obviously, the first transplant didn't work. Since that didn't work, the doctors right away suggested that I undergo another transplant where I would receive stem cells from a donor. First thing I had to go through was chemotherapy. I went through, I think it ended up being five cycles of chemotherapy. It was really mild chemotherapy. My body was not affected like it was in the past. Obviously, I didn't lose my hair. I felt good. I was able to work. I was able to do everything that obviously was normal to me. The most difficult part was obviously, I remember, I think it was on my second chemo treatment. I was laying in bed, and my wife came back and gave me the results of the whether I had a match in the registry or not. I think there's something like 17 million people in the registry. Of those 17 million people, I did not have an identical match. The most frustrating thing was we wasn't told really what would be the next step if I didn't have a match. So I spent a whole weekend of thinking, man, what's next? I mean, do we have a next step, or what's going on? Luckily for me, we found out the following doctor's appointment that they have just kind of started this half match idea here in the past 3 or 4 years. So that's what we decided to go with. We tried the donor drive, which was very successful. Obviously, if I'm not a match of 1 in 17 million, to have 300 or 400 people to register, obviously not real good odds, but we give thanks to everybody that was able to register and attempt to be my match. Currently, I still don't have a match, but we're going to go ahead and go through that half match here August the 1st, which is Thursday, which I guess since we're past midnight, we're talking about tomorrow is when I'll start the process. The cancer so far has really done a good job. The cancer has shrunk half in size. My body's in good shape. I've undergone several tests here in the past couple of weeks. My heart, my lungs, everything you can think of, and everything looks to be good. So I got a lot of stuff going for me. I'm in good health. I'm young. Obviously, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb, but through all the support of everybody out there, I know I'll be fine. I'll be able to get through it. But I wanted to be able to create this to keep everybody updated. Maybe inspire you guys that have a bad day, that, hey, we all have bad days, but we can still smile, laugh, have a good time, and make the best of them. What's ahead for me? Obviously, I'm going to be checking in the hospital. I think my check-in time is 11 o'clock on Thursday. I'll get my central line put in, And what the central line will do, it'll be a direct line to my heart, so it doesn't burn up my veins. And it's kind of like PlayStation cords. There'll be like, I think three prongs hanging out. Um, so they won't have to stick me with a needle or anything like that. That's where they'll do all the blood work. That's where I'll receive IVs, medicines. Also receiving my stem cells, my cord blood from there. I'll start chemo on Friday. I'll receive chemo for I think 5 days, possibly 6, and then they will give me full body radiation. The reason they're giving me chemo and radiation is to try to make my immune system as weak as possible, so that when they give the donors the donor cord blood to me, then their immune system will overtake mine. I'll be receiving 2 partial matches of the 6 enzymes. The 2 cords are 4 out of 6. And all that is basically an IV. It'll be a bag of the stem cells, and they're frozen, and they'll unthaw right there at my bedside, and I'll just receive it just through an IV. So I hope that this one won't be as bad as far as the chemo as the last one. The most difficult part about this transplant is obviously going to be what's called the graft versus host disease. It's when my body recognizes these foreign cells and attack it. Obviously, I want my body to fight it a little bit, because if it doesn't fight it, then that means that my immune system has overtaken those stem cells of the cord blood, and obviously the odds are the cancer is just going to come back. So we want a little bit of graft versus host disease. All that is, it could be any type of infection. It could be a rash. It could be an infection in my lungs or anything. But we just don't want it to be real bad, because obviously it could get real serious with something bad. But they said this is more like a roller coaster, whereas the other one I was knocked completely down, and I just gradually climbed the mountain until I got over it and got back to living my life. This one's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. That first 100 days is going to be difficult with the graft versus host. That's when it usually occurs, in the first 100 days. So I'll be the doctors will be keeping a close eye on me. I should be in the hospital 21 to 28 days. Depending on how my body accepts the cord blood. Hopefully I'll be out of it as soon as possible. My doctor has already said that he'd like to keep me out of work for at least 6 months. I know I promised my kids I'd try to be back for the first 9 weeks, but obviously it doesn't look like I'll be able to do that. But I'll try to get back as soon as possible. Hopefully through this blog I'll keep everybody updated. I think with this blog idea, maybe it'll be a little bit easier to follow. Also, for those people that don't have Facebook, they'll be able to get on just the regular website and be able to follow. And, hopefully I'll be able to make one video in the morning to kind of explain my night, let everybody know I slept well, or how my blood work's going, and then hopefully make another one in the evening. I've asked my wife, hey, if I'm feeling bad, go ahead and make one yourself, and you can make fun of me or take pictures of me or whatever you want. But I like to keep everybody updated. I got so much support from everybody. It's unbelievable things that I've done, or things that I've received from people. I wish I could name them all, but I mean, I'd be leaving somebody out, and I'd be feeling bad. So I guess you guys know who you are, and from the bottom of my heart, me and my family appreciate it. Through all the support, we'll get through this and get to living life back to normal as soon as possible. So hopefully you'll be receiving a couple videos a day. If not, I'll apologize, and then I'll see you guys as soon as possible. Thanks for the support. Bye.